Hi, my name's Croz Crossley and I'm the Mindset Technician, and for the last 25 years I've been working with entrepreneurs, people who own big companies and employees. And the biggest problem that we encounter is that employees feel that they're stuck where they are. But I'm here to tell you that you don't have to be stuck where you are. So if you want to move through your company and get promotions, earn more money, listen to me. If you don't want to move through the company and earn more money and get promotion, switch off now. But all the things that I've learned over this last 25 years are simple. The trouble is they're hard to apply. But I guarantee that if you apply them, you will move through your company, earn more money and be more respected within the workplace. Interested? Okay, let's get underway. With a very few simple little twists and ideas and a change in your mindset, you can totally change your life at work. Right, now I said everything was simple, but the first thing we've got to do is we've got to put some background into what's happening. So I do a very simple little drawing of how to explain what you're going to be doing. It's called more than filling your space. The first thing is that when you're in a job, everyone feels they try and get away with just doing enough. Okay? Now, if you're one of these people, pay attention, because you're very, very easily going to be able to change your situation. But a lot of people just do enough. Other people, they fill the space. They're perfect. They turn up on time, they do everything they're supposed to do, and they are absolutely perfect in the job. Okay? And the other people, this is what we call more than filling your space. This is very important. More than filling your space. Now, what does that mean? It means that you are doing more than is required. And the funny thing is that once you start doing it, it becomes natural and you don't even notice it. But the boss does. And if he doesn't, the bloke down the road does, okay? So what happens is you do your work perfectly to fill the space, okay? Now follow me, this is very important. But you just do that extra little bit. You're trying to burst out of the sides. So imagine that this is your route of escape from your mundane job. You've just got to put that extra little bit in. It's called more than filling your space. And once you do, you will find that very, very amazing things start happening, because the boss will notice. Okay, he can't ignore it, because if he doesn't notice it, someone else will. Okay, so this is the mindset that you're not doing this to make the boss happy. You're doing this so the boss takes notice of you. Make sense? So if you just in the corner here, just doing enough, you've got a chance of losing your job. If you fill your space, but you're not putting any extra in, you are the perfect employee. You've got no ambition. You've got no ambition to go anywhere else. So you're the perfect employee. You will stay exactly where you are. But if you more than fill your space, there is no way known that you will not move through the company or be noticed by someone else who's maybe come into the shop or seen you working, and they say, that is the sort of person I want in my company. So it's all up to you. It's a total little mindset shift, but more than fill your space, and then make it into a bit of a game. Okay? It's not, you're not doing any extra really, but you're just pushing yourself that little bit extra so that people notice you. More than filling your space. Very, very important. So another little tip. where we get confused, you see, and all these little tips are very small little adjustments that you can make to make your life more enjoyable while you're at work, but will give you the best chance of moving through the company. Now, a lot of people take action, okay? Now, walking around pretending that you're doing something, walking around just filling time, doing it, that's an action, okay? That doesn't get you anywhere. That is an action. What you need to concentrate on is what we call efficient action. Efficient action. Now, this is where you do something, but you get a good result by doing less. Okay? And I don't think there's any company that I've ever been in the last 25 years that I haven't been able to find time back for the company because the people are taking inefficient action in what they're doing. So what you've got to do when you're doing anything, don't tread water, because if you've got nothing to do, okay, you'll find something to do, going back to more than filling your space. Don't stand about just trying to look busy. Make sure you are busy. And if you can't think of anything, go and ask the boss. Say, listen, I think I'm up to date with everything that I'm doing. Is there anything else that I can be doing to help? Okay, how lies that? You're going in and the boss thinks, what a wonderful person, because no one else is going to be doing that. No one else is going to be asking, what can I do? What more can I do to make things easier for you? And that is more than filling your space, but it's got to be efficient action. Don't walk around pretending to be busy, okay? And if you can't think of anything to do yourself, go and ask your manager or someone else what you can do, and then you will be noticed in that box of more than filling your space. Efficient action, most important, very simple little shift, but then what's the boss going to think about? You. Another little piece of advice. In life, there are 3 things that will make a success of your life, and that doesn't matter whether you don't work, whether you're a boss, whether you're entrepreneurial, or whether you work at a company, okay? Everybody must know where they're going. So many people get up every morning and haven't got a clue what they're doing, okay? And I talk to a lot of people and they say, I feel lost. I say, well, where are you going? I say, well, I don't know. You can't be lost if you don't know where you're going. So the first thing that you've got to do, and this doesn't matter what you are, you've got to have a clear mental image of where you're going. Make sense? So at last, you'll get up in the morning and you keep thinking about this clear mental image until it becomes something that you're going to achieve. Okay? So this is your clear mental image. And whether you work for someone or not, you must know where you're going. You must know what you want out of life, because so many people don't know what they want. And then, if you're working here, right, here, you've got to make it where you want to be. So many people, they just go to work, pass the time, 8 hours, and then I can go home, right? That's no good. Make where you are where you want to be, okay? So make enjoyment of your work, okay? It will come across the people that come in that you interact with. Make it enjoyable, okay? Don't walk around with a long face, because that's going to rub off on the customers, it's going to rub off on the people you work with, and it's just going to make 8 hours seem like an eternity. Make where you are where you want to be, and make a bit of a game of it, okay? So that you look forward to going to work, okay? Because your job gives you your income, which allows you to do all the things that you want to do, okay? So it's a very important part of your life. So don't just think of it as something where you've got to go and kill time. Then, an awful lot of us drag the past round with us. Okay, this is all such simple stuff, guys, but if you do these things, your mindset will change. A lot of us drag the past round with us. And they drag all the problems round with us. And they say, oh, woe is me, I haven't got a good job, I haven't got this, I haven't got that. So you're defeating yourself before you start, okay? This will grow. Your mind will grow anything you plant in it. But you keep planting, woe is me, everything's going wrong, I can't do this, I can't do that. And what do you think your mind does with it? It grows it, so that it makes it a reality. So what you've got to start doing is planting stuff in your brain that you can grow that's good, okay? And that is, make where you are where you want to be. Plant something nice, enjoy your work. If you've got to go to work, right, enjoy it. Why be miserable about it? That slight little thing, make it a bit of a game, going to work. Start enjoying what's happening. And the thing is, when I said to you earlier, people say they feel lost. And that they will feel lost. And if you go off track, you can always find your way back. Because you know where you're going. I said earlier that so many people haven't got this clear mental image of what they want. And it doesn't matter what that is. Okay, but it's got to be something that's going to stretch you so that you're actually going to try and put that extra bit of effort in to achieve it. But once you know where you're going, you can't go off track, because if you actually wander off, you can always get on track because you know where you're going. The other thing that happens when you know where you're going and you're happy where you are, you get opportunities, right? Opportunities are presented to you all the time, but you walk past them, okay? You miss them because they don't represent as opportunities. And a lot of people just gather everything. Now, I don't know about you, but many people that I know have got rooms full of stuff with the label "just in case" written on it, okay? Like the cup with the broken handle. Okay, I'll put that by in case I ever need a cup with a broken handle. So we've got this room full of stuff that we don't need, okay? So we tend to sort of grab at everything and we don't know whether we're going to need it or not. But with this, when you know where you're going, an opportunity arises, okay? And you know it makes sense. Now, let's say, for example, I want to open a business and I need a shop. As I drive along, what we call the reticular activating system comes into play, and it just shows me every single empty shop that's about, okay? Then, because I need an empty shop, I say that would be good, and it's an opportunity that I can now assimilate and make sense of. But if you don't need a shop, okay, but you know where you're going, you don't need a shop, you'll still see all the empty shops, but they won't resonate as an opportunity. So you're not spending wasted energy trying to gather up opportunities that aren't relevant to your journey, okay? So if you are in a business and you're working for a company and an opportunity arises, provided you know in your clear mental image, you want to be a manager, right? You want to be a department head, you want to be this, you want to be that. As long as you know what you want to be, the opportunities will present themselves. So that if all of a sudden you hear something within the company on the grapevine, you know it's an opportunity because you know where you're going. Okay? So it's as simple as that, guys. Get a clear mental image of where you want to go. Make where you are where you want to be, and get rid of all the rubbish in the past. Now, here's a great one. And this is something that I found out over many, many years. The feeling creates the result. So if you're happy here, this becomes easy. If you're miserable here, this becomes very, very difficult and almost impossible to do, because the feeling creates the result. Now, a lot of people think that if they get a big pile of money, it will solve a problem. That gives you what we call temporary relief, not real relief, because if you don't know what to do with the money and you're not at peace with yourself, it will never make you happy. It will never give you that feeling, okay? So that is a real big secret, is that when you feel happy, the next thing that happens is normally associated with being happy. If you're miserable, the next action is associated with being miserable. Remember, this grows whatever you plant, so make sure that you're happy, because the feeling creates the result. The result will only create a temporary feeling, not a real feeling. It might just give you temporary relief because you've paid a bill, but that's not. You've got to actually be dominantly happy, okay? And the other thing is, people always say to me, well, how do I get here? And do you know what I say? I haven't got a clue. I haven't got a clue. But all I do know is if you know where you're going, the next step will be clear. You won't know how to get here, but you'll know how to do the next step, okay? So on your journey, don't worry, don't try and do this in one jump, because it won't happen. Once you've got that clear, everything will unfold towards it, and the only thing that you need to know is the next step. And guess what? When you get there, you'll then know how to do the next step. So it's a whole group of hows, not one big one. You will know how to do every step as long as you know where you're going, okay? So there you go, guys. That is whether you're working, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a business owner, or whether you work with a company. This is the secret of success. Know where you're going, make where you are where you want to be, and get rid of all the rubbish in the past. Okay, I hope you're enjoying yourself. I'm having a bit of a laugh here. I'm enjoying this really, because everything's so simple. When you look at each bit, it's so simple, but it's difficult to apply because you forget it and you start falling back into how you were. But I'm making you a promise that if you follow these simple ideas, okay, you cannot fail to change your life. My promise to you. But the problem is that we've got in life steps. Most people, they want to be down here and they want to get up here in one go. Right? It don't happen. It doesn't happen. Because if you get up here in one go and things start going wrong, okay, you will never know where you are. Now, you're in a company, a business, you're working for someone, and you want to get onto this step here. Lifts you up one little bit. Then you get onto this step here, okay? It's a progress. More than fill your space, you can't fail to move up these steps, okay? And as you move up, these are all your insurance against the future. Because when you get up here, if anything goes wrong and you fall down one step, you know where you are because you've been there before. If you go this way, you go here and you're lost and you start doing this. So the thing that you've got to remember here, do not try and skip the steps. There's a set process. There's a set process that your boss cannot put you on this step unless you know those two steps. Make sense? So you can't, however much you want to jump and jump and jump, don't. Just start and know where you're going. Once again, the clear mental image up the top here, and just take each step at a time. And then you will know wherever you are, you'll have the answer because you've been through that step. So if you want to get promotion, you'll never get promoted to here if you haven't been there and there. Okay? So don't rush. Just let it happen. And in fact, once you move up one step, this all sort of starts getting faster and faster. But most people are quite happy to stand here, gazing up here, going, oh, if only I could be up there, if only this could happen, if only that would happen. It don't. I've been around doing this for 25 years. There's no magic wand. You've got to do it all, okay? But it's simple to hear, but but hard to apply, because what we do is we do one little thing and then we stop, and then we do another little thing. You've got to, on a daily basis, do this. Keep doing it, keep doing it. And I tell you, you cannot fail. The only person that can muck this up is, guess who? You, right? So make sure, don't try and skip the steps. You can't go to here if you haven't been here and there, okay? So just take it in little bite-sized pieces, and eventually, provided that you've got a clear picture of what you want up here, you will get there. So, we've been talking about you moving up the steps, but how about we talk about when you've actually moved up the steps? In fact, let's go back to that drawing that we did earlier. Okay, now let's just reiterate what we said. You cannot possibly be promoted to any position within the company unless you've experienced on the way up, okay? You must have that knowledge. But when you get here, and you can have a big smile on your face here because you've had a nice bit of promotion, right? What you've got to do then is you've got to look down here to the other people that want to move up. So you've got to come and give these people confidence and motivation to move up with you, okay? So that everybody moves up on the same tide. You know, in a harbour, if all the boats are moored up, as soon as the tide goes up, they all go up together, okay? They're all different sizes, but if you work as a team, you're looking this way because you want to go and improve your position within the company, but never ever forget the people that are behind you. So keep an eye on this person here and tell them how to get on this step, okay? Don't try and get clever, because the more people you help to get what they want, the quicker you'll get what you want. So you come down here and the boss sees you looking after the others and helping them, that moves you on to the next step. Got it? It's very simple, but you've got to make sure that you do it correctly. So if you get moved up in the company, you get to a management position or whatever it is, always look back at the people behind you and do everything you can to help them. Get them on that next step. Once you're on that next step, it becomes a breeze, because all of a sudden you see a lot more from this step. Then you see more from that step. But always be prepared to help the people behind you. Okay, so it's all very well that we've moved up the ladder. We've got to here, okay? But how do we keep ourselves here? All right, because what happens in life, we tend to start cruising, okay? So each day, you've got to give yourself a good talking to. Remember we said earlier, you grow anything you want in here, so you want to grow your success. So you've got to keep thinking about your success. But keep this picture in your mind. If you're not steadily moving up this ladder, okay, you're going nowhere. So each day, you've got to motivate yourself. Now, what I suggest is that you get a buddy, what you used to call in the old days a study buddy, right? And keep each other motivated. Do little competitions between yourself to say, right, who can do the most sales, who can do the most this, because that will all help you burst through the more than filling your space, but just make it fun. It's got to be fun, otherwise it becomes hard work. But there is a tendency that you get to a certain position and you just relax. You've got to keep motivated, and as I say, get someone to bounce ideas off and keep yourself going, keep it fun, right? And you'll keep moving up the steps, but you must keep motivated. Each day, even after 25 years, I have to keep motivating myself. Okay, and all the sort of stuff that I listen to in the course of the day makes me very depressed sometimes, so I've got to keep myself buoyed up. This isn't natural, okay? We've made our brain become very, very difficult to live in society today, right? So what we've got to do is we've got to reprogram ourselves, and that reprogramming means that you've got to keep the momentum going, okay? So guys, That is how simple it is. Every one of the things we've spoken about, you can do standing on your head. There's nothing difficult, but you'll talk yourself out of it because you'll get up in a bad mood one day, or you say, oh, it's not working, or whatever. All this stuff happens underneath. Once you start doing it, once you start more than filling your space, okay? Now, with wrapping up, know where you're going, have a clear mental image of where you're going, make where you are where you want to be. That's so important, because if you're miserable, it doesn't matter where you get, you'll be miserable. If you're happy, wherever you get, you'll be happy. So make sure where you are is where you want to be. That is so important. Get rid of all the rubbish from the past. Get that be information. This is be information, okay? If you take notice of what we've spoken about today and you just get rid of all the voices and say, I'm going to apply this, it will work. There is no way known it won't work. There's only one person can muck it up. That's you. Okay? So make sure that you take all this information on. There'll be a lot of hurdles. Okay? But provided that you know what you want, I assure you, you will get it. But don't be put off all the time. And sometimes you get hurdles that are out of your control. You might get a boss, or you might get someone in charge who doesn't actually want you to move forward. But if you apply the principle of more than filling your space, you get round them. Don't be put off because they're trying to keep you down. Just keep doing these things, more than fill your space, and you'll get through them. So all I can say, guys, in conclusion, is there's a bit of stuff there that you can think about if you apply it. Don't expect to just watch these short videos and things to change, because they won't. You've got to take action. And what action have you got to take? Efficient action. Don't look at the boss as someone that's holding you down. Look at the boss and say, that's where I want to be. Managerial or whatever, but just if you want to do it, it will happen. I promise you. Catch you later.